regime after regime. So what happens is the skew at the political level, what they call the political direction, and that's why we tell every citizen, please take part in elections, because of the political. You like a bad government, cabinet has decided. And what Parliament has decided with, because that's the way it is. But the implementation is on a management, is on a perpetual succession, because it's an institution that is not going to stop. And that's the way it is recognized on the world of nations. So the investors, external investors here, they follow exactly like that. They follow to see who is doing what in the country, and is it going to change, is it not going to change, and they proceed.
Of course, we're going to be handing over this program officially to the team in Parliament. Of course, once President Uhuru Kenyatta makes his way to but that roundabout there is where the president will emerge from once he's made his way from State House on the way to Uhuru Highway, and then from that roundabout, and you can see the security arrangement. That's where the president will emerge from, and then these will begin. The president is leading the nation in celebrating the life of President Stanley Emilio Mwai Kibaki, born on the 15th of November 1931, and then rests on the 21st of April 2022. And of course, we continue to mourn and celebrate his life as a man who has a great legacy shaped in terms of how the economy grew during his reign, the further sector, but most importantly, even on issues of regional integration. It's quite interesting, PC Kaguthi. The men who launched this operation, the last one of them is President Mwai Kibaki, because there was George Saitoti as Minister for Internal Security then there was Yusuf Haji as Minister for Defense, and now President Mwai Kibaki. But most importantly, the operation is still continuing.
Yes, because the nation was getting threatened. They come all the way to Mada Island. We did not have an alternative but to go and destabilize them, because, you know, we have had a very, very nasty situation. Kenya has been a low-pressure belt. During the time of Mejisu, people are running here. South Sudan, the Sudan here. Immunization of Uganda here. You see the way we have been a low. But from 91, we have never had a stable government. But now, you get a raftag of people who are coming now to interfere with our system all the way to Westgate and so forth. So a decision was taken during his reign and with General that they now go stop it from the other side and support that government. So Kenya is at war until the African Union came to our aid, because we had now to defend ourselves. And that's when I asked you, what is Kenya's strategic interest beyond which we would be prepared? We are being interfered with. We are not with the
It's a threat on our sovereignty.
Oh, yes. So it had now to be that way. And therefore, there are things that we can't talk more than that. But we have been interfered with very, very badly. And we have survived by God's grace that all those countries have been destabilized and everybody was running here. One time we had the largest number of refugees in, whether it's Kakuma or the one in...
I think this is the president's motorcade now. Heading towards Parliament. But of course you can continue. Once you have a clear establishment of whether it's a motorcade, we'll be letting the people in.
Yeah, so the way you look at it is that we had to go to war as a necessity. And remember Nyumba Kumi, it came when we saw that even they started killing our elders in Kwale, Mombasa and so forth. But now it has been contained. We are trading very well. Yeah, oh yes. And there's a semblance of government starting, even the elections starting to form the other side, so they can now protect us.
All right.
Yes.
I needed to ask you this, particularly on NACADA, because under President Kibaki, you were at the helm of
the campaign.
I went to ask, what was President Kibaki's interest when he launched NACADA?
It was started by Mzee Moi the year before before 2002, 2001. And what happened is that the reports are mined by the youth partaking drugs and alcohol. There it is. That's how it started. But when it came, after he stopped the government of 2005, I was taken to Vice President's office. But then the political wing in that office said that I'm moderate, that I don't. But look at drugs, is alcohol, is cigarette, these injectables, the one the Madoa Daktari. So I saw that I can't just work. So I went back to head of public service and told him, no, I'll have to walk away on the government because I cannot allow the advert, tobacco, nini to continue, and I still survive because I will ridicule the country. It will not be me. So that's the time it was decided. When Mwai Kibaki was asked by Mudhaura told me that because I just told him that I'm going to resign. He just said, Nani hajui, remove Kaguthi from NACADA, it is dead. So that's how I came back to OP until now I left it with a law of tobacco.
Right. Yeah. Of course, the pictures you're seeing on your screen are Parliament buildings. The earlier pictures were on the normal traffic flow, on the normal routes. But those are the pictures outside the precincts of the Parliament buildings, where we expect President Uhuru Kenyatta to arrive any time from now as he leads the nation in celebrating the life of President Mwai Kibaki. Before I hand it over to Victor, just a quick run through the program is that from today up until Wednesday is the public viewing of the body of the third president of the Republic of Kenya from 9 a.m. all the way taken back to the Lee funeral home, and that will happen for 3 days. On Friday, there's an interdenominational prayer service and or a memorial service in honor of President Kibaki at the Nyayo National Stadium, and I'm sure, like Victor pointed out, we shall have several heads of state from different countries coming in to show their respects to President Mwai Kibaki, and then on Saturday, Nyeri County, Othaya, is where the body of President Kibaki will be interred. All factors remaining constant, obviously, if this debate about him being buried at the Heroes' Corner does not continue. But so far, with the program from government is that in Othaya, a constituency he represented up until 2013 when he retired. He was their member of parliament. And we have the former vice president. He was actually the vice president of Kibaki in the second term. That is Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, making his way into, and I see being received by the deputy president as he makes his way into parliament. Obviously, we don't expect Prime King tour in the United States of America, but before he went, and saying Kibaki, took charge. He led. If there was a person who was keen on leading his people and providing the morale for work, was President Mwai Kibaki. He was a team leader. That's how the former Premier Raila Odinga remembers President.
As I said, these people, all politicians worked together. You remember Kalonzo Musyoka was a member of KANU. Raila Odinga also was a student of Moi. All of them,
even the deputy president.
Even the deputy president was director of elections way back then.
And the president was